Naming and writing acids. This does not cover all the acids that you could come across in a college chemistry course, but this will cover some of the most frequent acids used in chemistry, excluding organic. So, how do I know it's an acid? It starts with hydrogen. So, our trick is 8 to ic or ic to 8. I'll explain this in a minute. I to us and I to hydroic. Mnemonic device to help you remember that is ic, I ate it. Ic, 8. Laryngite, us. When I hydroplane, I slide. So 8 and ic go together. Ite and us go together. Hydro goes with ide. This is just to help you memorize the trick, so you don't have to memorize 30 to 40 acids. Okay, so these are acids because they start with hydrogen. Here's how you do this. You're going to split the compound. You're going to look to see what this is called. So I'm going to look on my ion sheet, and I'm going to look for Br with no other atoms. Br with no other atoms is called bromide, so it's an ide ending. So, just to help you remember, and you don't have to show all this, this is just for me to help you. So bromides, if you recall, we said ides go to hydroics. So this is going to be hydro, so you put hydro in the front. And then you put bromide, but you get rid of the ide and you add ic, acid. Okay, so hydro, bromic acid. Split the compound, see what SO3 is called. SO3, 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 SO3 is called sulfite. So I'm going to think about it as sulfite. So let's go back and look at the trick. Ites become us, laryngite us. So this is going to be sulfur us acid. Unfortunately with sulfur, it's not just as simple as adding the us acid. You have to go back to the root word of sulfur for all the sulfurous, sulfuric, sulfite, sulfate, all those. Split this here. Look up ClO3 on my ion sheet. I see that ClO3 is chlorate. So I'm going to write that just to help you think about it. We're going to get rid of the ic and call it chloric acid. Think about ic to 8. Ic to 8 is what we did there. Okay. Split it. I'm going to look up BO3 and I'm going to see on my ion sheet that it's called borate. So it's going to be called boric acid. Remember, the only one that goes back to the root word is sulfur. Anything with the sulfate, sulfite, and then sulfide, all those go back to the root word. Okay, let's go the other way. We have sulfuric acid. So ic, so we have ic, so we got to find sulfate. I know that sulfate is SO4 2-. How do I know that? Because you're going to look on your ion sheet, you're going to see sulfate is SO4 2-. So, however many negatives you have, we have a -2. The formula then will have that many hydrogens in it, and you'll get rid of the plus or minus because it's a compound. It can't have a charge. So you have -2 here, you get 2 hydrogens. This is a hydroic, so be careful if you have an ic. Always look to the front to see if it's an ordinary ic, or in this case, it's a hydroic, so they're a little bit different. So that means it's going to be fluoride. Okay, so I'm looking up fluoride to see it's -1. Why isn't ide? Because it's a hydroic. When I hydroplane, I slide. So hydroic, so there's a -1, so that means I get 1 H with it. The negatives go away because the H's balance them. Okay, this is an us acid, laryngite us, so it comes from nitrite, NO2 1-. Nitrite is NO2 1-. How do I know? I looked at my ion sheet, so I get 1 H in front of it. Why 1? Because there's a -1 here. Acetic acid, ic goes to 8, so acetate. Acetate is one of the first ones on your list. Don't skip it. Ic goes to 8, so I gotta go acetate. This is an 8. This was an us, so it went to an I. This is ic. Okay, so then one H goes in front, and yes, the other H's stay there if you're gonna write it as an acid. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.